I'm back for part two. Part one this morning, I really wasn't paying much attention. I've done a new measurement, one leg down, two legs down, and we're there now. So we'll see where we get to. The daily chart looks like we had first entry long, second entry long that's trying to fail, but going right into this Bollinger, coming back into the original range potentially. So interesting if this breakout is the same as that. No. Okay. Here's the 5 minute. 5 minute. Kind of looks like this. More room to the downside potentially. $15-minute, same thing. It looks like first entry short, second entry short triggered. All right, so if I get a trade, I'm just going to trade it on account 46. See how it works out as far as rhythmic. So we have a new high here. It'd be a first entry, second entry long off the bottom of the Bollinger and a failed breakout. But I don't like taking those on engulfing anymore, so just waiting, and it doesn't look like it'll be a setup I want to get into at this point. All right, so that one didn't work. So I've come up with a way now where when it's engulfing, I'll just wait to enter, buying the bid in that case. And if it's not engulfing, then I can just enter one tick above. But this is a pretty nasty sell-off. Bounced right off this Bollinger before, but now it's coming back towards it. That was on the daily. All right, so I've just been back for about 10 minutes. And just going to be patient. See if there's any good trade for me. There's really nothing I saw earlier that caught my attention while I was here. Yeah, I was very distracted. So let's see if I can concentrate here and just going to trade on evaluation 46. Not risk the PA if there's technical problems with Rhythmic again today. I was thinking this might go back down here, but I like how this is stacking up now. It's kind of like a triple test. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to chill, but I think it's coming back down. If I had a touch on the top, I would definitely go short here. ATR is pretty high, 56 on the 1 minute chart. Volatile day. Seems like it wants to go down, but I would have liked if this touched the top Bollinger and then go short. Midline. How far to go already? 5 points. No, 4.25. We'll see if this can try to break out, but it seems like it's coming back down to the bottom Bollinger. So if this tries to go first entry long, second entry long, and then fails below, I might take a short, but I think this triple test was probably good enough to send it all the way back down. We'll see. It's definitely struggling to get through the middle. Oh, hey, Amma. How are you? How's it going today? All right, so if this triggers above and then comes below, I might enter it short. Kind of like the short from here, but stayed out of it, and you can see it struggled, so I feel like it was good for me to stay out of it. But this time, if it turns up and then comes down, I might be able to enter it. We'll see. Or I guess the long is good. Right. And that's why I didn't want to take the short in case something like that happened. But I don't like how this Bollinger came up here, though. So I don't necessarily want to take a short right into the Bollinger. It's obviously like a very tight range now too. So I'm just going to stay out of things like this. All right, so GameStop opened at 40. It's now back to 30 right now. It dropped pretty much all day since the open. I think the low is about 26 for the day. Let me see. 27.75 is the low. So opened at 40. I'd like to see it go back up there. We'll see. Here's a failure of the second entry long, but already at the Bollinger now. If the Bollinger was still down here, I would have taken this, but not this way. All right, so it is ultimately going down here. This is kind of what I was suspecting it was going to do, but I didn't see a clean way in. You had a hiccup in your back. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing today? Any trades for you? Today's been a weird day for me. Another weird day. So no trades so far. Small green day for you so far? I'd take it. Today feels like a small green day for me. No trades. Taking it safe. Yeah, today's kind of an interesting, crazy day. A lot of weird stuff going on in the market. Berkshire Hathaway, some kind of glitch. Made it look like they lost 99% of the value of their stock. And then looked like the SPY was halted or frozen for a little while there. A minute or two at some point. And GameStop is up 30%. So I've been up all night watching that. And then rhythmic issues again today for Apex again. They didn't fix their servers. Alma says, what happened? Buffett's cashing out? No, I think it was just a technical glitch. Investors must be mad. Yeah, I imagine that would be shocking to see. I'd certainly be concerned if Berkshire Hathaway went to, 99% down on the day. That'd be a crazy one. But there's a whole lot going on in the market these days. For anyone that follows GameStop, there's a lot of bigger implications depending on what GameStop does in the big picture coming up in the next few weeks. As far as the effect it'll have on multiple hedge funds. If it's true, that's a lot of cash. Biden must be looking for it. Well, we know how it is in election years. Usually they find a way to keep the market propped up most election years. But today's a red day for the major indexes. The daily chart here. Down 0.5%, almost 100 points on NASDAQ futures. So I was kind of hoping this was a new high. I was kind of hoping I would get like a first entry, second entry opportunity to go long from down here, but it didn't set up that way. I am doing something new starting today, test it out, but I'll be trading 2 contracts on my PA when I get a chance to trade my PA. And I'll be trading 4 contracts on the 50K evaluations, and I'll be trading 6 contracts on the 250K. And I'm going to trade basically half the contracts. So if I'm trading the PA, one contract will go for 26 ticks, and the second contract will go for 52 ticks. And then I'll adjust based on where my support resistance levels are, where my profit targets will be. So I'm going to try that out and see how I do with that. So if I'm doing it on 250K, it'll be like 3 and 3. If I'm doing it on a 50K eval, it'll be 2 and 2. It's kind of a first entry, second entry long, but it's right in the middle. If it comes back down, it's a failed second entry long and a second entry short. But again, it's in the middle. We just came off the low of the Bollinger, so I would think we'd go touch the top, but Alma says that's awesome. 2 contracts, why? Just something I want to try. 2 contracts on PAs, 4 contracts on 50K evals, 6 contracts on the 250K. And so this is right in the middle. I really don't know which way this thing's going to go. Equal space on top and bottom to the Bollingers. So it could be a double trap. I don't know. Thomas says, looks like Camp Apex is winning. Everyone is adjusting to the new rules. I have no idea. I think a lot of people are still pissed off. They put a poll out on their website about what people want the new rules to be. So if you have any interest in trading on Apex, or if you are trading on Apex, check it out on their website. Give them your input. So yeah, so this was a first entry, second entry long that failed. That was also a second entry short. Kind of wanted to take it, but was kind of unsure. I mean, I probably should have taken it. It was only 34 ticks risk on a bearish day. But yeah, I don't know the answer if everyone's adjusting or everyone's Camp Apex still. Yeah, the poll is up on their website. I already filled mine out. They ask 30 questions. Do you understand this? That if we did this, that it would mean that, and would you be okay with that? And do you want us to change this? But do you understand that it might lead to more people trying to scheme and scam? It's very interesting wording, the way they've designed it. You can tell that John Guy wrote it. Thomas says, I have one TradeOvate account that I'm using to get TradingView and free NinjaTrader 8 order flow package. Cool. Yeah, it's interesting the way they've done the poll, because you don't even have to actually be a subscriber or user to Apex to fill out the poll. You could just be anyone to click on the link. So I don't know that that's the best idea for them to do it that way. I would have put it behind like log into your account and then fill out the poll, for Apex users. But that's what they've done. GameStop is making a move again. It's at 30.50 now. It opened at 40. The overnight it was at 47. It closed at 23 last Friday. So up over 30% now. So I got to admit, I'm more consumed by what's going on with GameStop today than I am with the futures and Apex and everything. Although I did find time to fill out the poll while I was live streaming earlier today. And then this is my second live stream because I had to stop and take my daughter to school. So I restarted a new live stream when I got home. So for anyone that doesn't follow GameStop, this guy Roaring Kitty, that was a big part of the run up in 2021. He posted that he had a 100 and what is it? Let me look before I say it. He posted his position in GameStop. He's got 5 million shares of GameStop at an average price of $21.27. And he's got 120,000 calls for the June 21 $20 call. So he's got 120,000 contracts. So those two positions combined, he's got 115 million in shares and 65 million in contracts. So it's a huge move. Basically, he's got 120,000 contracts. So he's got access to exercise those contracts and get another 12 million shares of GameStop. He would have 17 million shares if he does that. And if he exercises all of those contracts, GameStop could be crazy. So if you don't know about what's going on with GameStop, check it out. I mean, it's already running, but not financial advice, just entertainment. But it's definitely entertainment for me because it's the reason why I was up all night long. I could not fall asleep because I saw on Robinhood that when GameStop opened in the overnight on Robinhood, it was up 20% immediately, and then they halted it and didn't trade it anymore until the regular market opened the overnight, which was at 1 a.m., 4 a.m. East Coast. And when 4 a.m. East Coast hit, GameStop went up to $47 from the previous close of 23. So just really crazy and exciting what's going on with it. So I've been following GameStop pretty closely here for the past few weeks. And I've been following it kind of here and there over the years. And I just think there's potentially something crazy about to happen. But we'll see. I have no idea, but it just seems like a lot of different things are adding up. Says, wow, some people are lucky to be rich. We'll see. There's definitely people making a lot of money right now. GameStop was trading at $10 like 4 weeks ago. Now it's at $30. So I haven't really seen much I've liked. This is the best trade I've seen for the short. I didn't take. Yeah, because I got 16 points there. Trying to break out of the bottom, but we already moved down a measured move from this leg. Got a little further on the 5 minute the way I'm measuring it. So maybe we're going there. Here's a 15 minute. just very bearish. It's hard to think to go long. It seems like this could be some kind of failed breakout of this big range and then come back in. Alma says, yeah, I don't want to guess the bottom. Yeah, me neither. I don't want to guess the bottom. In hindsight, this seems like a really good trade because it probably did trap in longs. But because it was like right in the middle, I just didn't feel confident. Oh. So we should be getting, oh, look, we're at that measured move on the 5-minute chart now. So let's see what happens. Lately, it's just kept going on these kinds of bearish days. How's the BB strat? Good. I was testing things out over the weekend on playback. And I think in the right market conditions, it could be really great for me. I should mention I only had 2 hours of sleep last night. I was up all night watching GameStop, so I was so excited watching it, seeing it go up to $47 that I couldn't sleep. So it wasn't until like 4:30 in the morning that I finally fell asleep, and then woke up at 7 something, around 7, something like that. So I'm working on like basically about 2.5 hours of sleep total. So might be another reason why I'm not committing to a trade. And then seeing that Apex was still having problems with Rhythmic gave me another reason to just be hesitant today. But no, I like the Bollingers. To me, I feel like it's going to help me in the long run. So we'll see. So essentially the BB strategy is the same as my regular strategy, except I'm just able to consider the bands and where my setups are. And what I'm kind of looking for is to see that there's room to like the mid level of the Bollinger, or if like we're coming off the bottom and should be expecting to go back to the top, or vice versa. This was another short that I was kind of considering because it was kind of like a triple test, and it's hard to tell, but there was actually a first entry below this bar here, and then this was a second entry. But I just wasn't confident here. And after this bar formed, I was like, okay, I'm not going to take that. And then I was looking for a lower low, but this lower low didn't look very strong. And then I could tell it was forming this really tight range, so I just stayed out of that. But this short would have been nice right below this bar here. Just gotta be careful, like in the middle of a range, like at the middle of the Bollinger. But yeah, it definitely trapped the longs, and we can tell it really got sent down after that. Oh, I'm tired. Right, so GameStop's still right at $30. I'm hoping it'll make a close above 30 today. Ooh. If I don't get any trades today, I'm not going to do a review. I'm too tired. I need to go take a nap before my daughter comes home later. All right, so strong push coming here. I expect to get to the top of the Bollinger. Since we had a breakout here, I'd expect it to actually go beyond. So we'll see if this ends up being a bottom of some kind today. But this is very bearish looking. Look, we're right at the bottom Bollinger. That's where the bounce keeps happening. Bottom Bollinger on the daily chart. But on the 15-minute, there's just no sign of a turnaround. I like watching the 1 minute. All right, so let's see if this ends up being a bottom here with like a V-shaped reversal kind of situation. It was at the measured move, exactly at the measured move on the 5-minute. So, but on the 5-minute, it's like my only expectations is for it to reach the top Bollinger, right? Which is going to be down here. It's going to line up with this by the time it gets up there. So it doesn't really look like a V-shaped turnaround on the 5-minute as of right now, but we'll see. Right, top of the Bollinger here. Look at that. So I just put on these two blue lines. This is the measured move of just this range. An exact touch to the tick of the measured move. And that's where it turned around. That's always very interesting to see when that happens. So quite a move from the bottom there. $69 points basically. Almost says failed breakdown. Yeah, I mean, how I see it is measured move on the 5-minute, pretty easily defined first leg down, second leg down with a bounce. And on the 1 minute, we've got this range with the breakout, and now it's a failed breakout. So a lot of times you get a failed breakout on one side, or a breakout on one side, you get a breakout on the other side. So see what happens over there. And then a lot of times it'll be like the same size breakout on both sides if it fails on both sides. So maybe to there, which takes you to the other side of the measured move. So we'll see. I'm just not seeing setups that I like though, currently. ATR is also still very high on the 1 minute chart, 52 ticks. I mean, a lot of times when I've been watching the 1 minute chart in the last few weeks, it's been around 30 or so ticks. Don't really need this. It's the same as this. Yeah, GameStop's approaching 31 now. Some big burst of movement on it right now. Just really love to see GameStop close above 30 today. I'm up 35% on my GameStop right now. Overall, I've got multiple positions. It says maybe a second entry after a breakout. Well, let's see here. We've got a first entry. And this was actually technically a second entry. It's hard to tell. There's a first entry here and then a second entry below this bar. Not really a clean second entry though, because this never ticked back up. So I don't know that I'd really count that. Now that I'm looking at it, kind of still just looks like a first entry. So yeah, maybe. But also it's possible we've seen the bottom now. Just based on this measured move, it's possible. Based on how I look at things. So this breakout might never turn back, but it's hard to say. I'll tell you what's interesting though, is this move is happening at the same time as GameStop's move. And GameStop's chart doesn't look anything alike. Other than just the same move at the same time right here. It says testing the top band. Yeah, but this might be one of those situations. Now, I created a new rule for myself during playback over the weekend that if it's pushing the top band like this and closes strong and the next bar is going to close above, I won't do it when it's breaking out of a range, because a lot of times ranges do fail. And so that's where I see this kind of momentum play with the top bar when it closes just like this. Sometimes you'll enter when it ticks above and then it'll just fail right back down. So I'm not taking it that way anymore, for sure. That's going to be a rule of mine for the Bollinger. But just the nature of the way this band is looking, like everything's pointing up. In my experience, what I've observed is when it reaches the top band, like if it's going to keep going, this thing will usually curve back around and be turning away from it. That's like what am I trying to think of? The volatility taking over. So this will start like turning away, and then this will keep pushing up, and I'll keep like closing at the top band. But when they're just facing up, like I don't trust that as much. So it's just another thing I've observed. But I mean, this is just it looks like one leg up, you know? I mean, look at this on the 5 minute, it's just one leg up. So I'm not looking for any shorts anytime soon. This could become some strong recovery right now. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when it reaches this. So that's the same distance as it broke out on the bottom side. And then on the 5 minute, this is just one strong leg up. Are we on the 15 minute? Not even at the midline yet. All right, GameStop at 31.50. It's crazy. It says, I think they made the glitch a permanent trade. What do you mean by the glitch? I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you're referring to GameStop, when you start to look into things, like the play that happened in 2021 never ended because the shorts never really closed their positions. All the hedge funds. The only one that got the position were the ones that went out of business or got taken over by another hedge firm. But otherwise, they all maintained their short positions this whole time, it turns out. So they're still short right now. While GameStop essentially is looking like this today. GameStop is up 37% now on the day from the previous close. Okay, GameStop is now about to reach 32. Almost says, wow. Yeah, so GameStop is over 32. 39% up today. Right now. All right, here we have some resistance right here at the measured moves. Same equal distance as the breakout down here. I'm not taking a short with this strong move up like this. That's just like, it's got to be a lot more convincing than this for me to take a short here. Definitely working as resistance though. See, it's already moved down. 7 points. So the breakout on the bottom is exactly the length as the breakout on the top. Exactly on the measured move. I mean, it's insane how that works out. If this was like a cleaner first entry, second entry, maybe I could have considered trying to take this, but I'm not going against this trend, even though it's a short-term trend of the day. Can you draw something from? Just curious. If you do that, you might think that you get retested low, but I don't like drawing trend lines anymore because to me, you get false narratives with trend lines. Maybe if there's a lower high here, I'd consider that. A lower high back to the midline at least. Yeah, look at this. So if you didn't take your profit in that 7-point area, anyone going short here that put their stop above that swing, see ya. And even though this worked for 7 points here, like this is the exact reason why I wasn't looking for a short. To me, this is like going all the way back, right? It's just one leg up on the 5. One leg up at the midline on the 15. On the daily, we're bouncing on the lower Bollinger again. And this is previous resistance becoming support here. So we'll see. It seems like it's going higher. I think the downside is played out. Could argue I've got one leg on here, 2 legs, which is exactly where it just got to. So let's see. Oh man, it's already 10:40. I didn't even realize it. I think I'm just gonna call it a day. I'm honestly just more interested in GameStop today, and this market just hasn't given a whole lot of opportunities for my style of trading. Also, got started late, so I didn't start until I think it was close to 7:30. I'm not even sure, but it's after 7 for sure. So I missed the open, and missed the first action. And then when I stumbled in here, I was so tired still, and then distracted by Apex rhythmic issues and GameStop and Apex's pull and just everything. So for me, I like some of the things they're talking about. For Apex, I like the idea of no pay windows. I mean, I love the idea of no pay windows. I mean, it doesn't really matter for me in the way I trade, but I think it's great if they reduce the mandatory days to trade from 10 to 8. And let's see, going from a 30% consistency rule to a 40% consistency rule. Those 3 ideas I think are great. I would love for them to do that. And to me, that would be something I'd be very interested in for Apex. Now they've thrown out some other really bizarre ideas that I'm not for at all. Those are the 3 main ideas that I like. And in my opinion, I'd be willing to have some sort of safety net to be able to have those 3 things in place. So if you make 2,600, like maybe you have to keep 1,600 in the account at all times. So maybe you can take out max 1,000 when you get to 2,600 at that point, or you can wait and build more and take out 2,000 when you get to 3,600. Like that's something that I think is fair and reasonable to be able to get those other things, in my opinion. But then they have some other things. They're also talking about, how can they implement their rules in a way to stop anyone that's trying to scheme and scam and take advantage of the company, and just have like withdrawal strategies and not trading strategies, or however they want to refer to it. To me, my opinion is that people that are breaking the rules should be put on probation. I'm not breaking the rules, so I shouldn't be put on probation, and I shouldn't suffer worse rules in other ways because other people are abusing the system. So to me, if someone's abusing the system, put that person on probation because they're doing something against the rules. The rest of us traders aren't doing anything against the rules, so why should we be put on probation? So there was some wording in the fact of like,
well, do you think it's fair that some people are on probation and not other people, and people are going to whine and complain? And should we have to deal with that? It's like, yeah, you should have to deal with that because they're your rules. And so if people are whining and complaining, well, live with it. Those are your rules, and um, they need to be punished for breaking the rules. So yeah, put them on probation. But I'm not sitting over here breaking the rules the way I'm trading. So put those people on probation and let me trade according to the rules that you have in place. Don't make the rules harder for me because other people are abusing your system. So that's my opinion on that. So I'm fine with probation period. People are breaking the rules and they're doing it and doing it and doing it. Then put them on probation and have them have some, um, you know, some fallout from that, or however you want to say it. But I don't want to have stupid new rules for trading on Apex because other people are breaking the rules, because I'm not breaking the rules. So Amma says all the ideas sound great. Yeah. So there's some other ideas in their poll that I'm, it's just like, they're saying, should nobody be put on probation and everyone be just treated with stricter rules? Like, no. Like, why should I agree to that? You know? So that's what I'm thinking. They had some other ideas and things, but really those were the four things that I'm okay with. Like that's my take on it. Unlimited payout window, just rolling continuous payout, no windows. And they're saying, but should, if they don't have the continuing rollout payout windows, and if it's just if they maintain the payout windows, should everybody be held their payout approval? Should everybody be held up and approved at the same time? When the approval goes through. So if you are the first one to request a payout, or if they can approve you early because you didn't break any rules, should they not approve you until everyone in the payout window is approved? Like, that's dumb. What does it matter to me if someone else was approved before me? And if mine takes longer than someone else's, like, I assume that if people's are taking longer than someone else's, that they're looking at your account because they think that maybe you broke a rule. So it is what it is. They have a time period that they're allowed to review, but they need to be done with the review by the time the time period's up, right? In my opinion. So, but again, that wouldn't apply if they just do the open rolling payouts whenever you want, when you've met the threshold and you've traded the minimum number of days. So to me, that's the best thing I like. And another idea they had is, well, should we make it so that there's no flipping rule, but you have to make at least, $150 for 4 days out of the 8 days traded, if that was a thing. That's not terrible, but I don't love it also, because what if you make $145 and now you're like trying to make that extra $5 and you make a mistake and you lose it back. So I don't particularly like that. It's just another way of trapping me into like going for another profit goal for 4 days that is going to mess me up. I know it's kind of similar to how Top Step does it, but I don't like that. Amma says, how about the safety net? Yes or no? Yeah, I'm okay with the safety net, but I just don't want it to be a big safety net. Like, I think on a 50K account, like, yeah, let's do a $1,500 safety net. So you'd have to get to 21,600. And then when you get to 52,600, essentially, that would be the 1,000. You could take out 1,000 at that point, but you have to leave 51,600. I would be okay with that. But if they want me to leave 52,600 and then make another 2,000 before I can get a withdrawal, I'm not down with that. So they need to like figure out how to not be too drastic with that, in my opinion. But it'll be interesting because also, if you look at the poll, it's worded very strangely. I mean, you can tell it's that guy John that wrote it. He talks in all the videos, and it's just such a like twisted perspective he has. He seriously has the view that like his whole user base is trying to get one over on them, and it's just really offensive for someone like me that's been trading on Apex for a year, has no payouts, been trading the right way, not breaking the rules, certainly not breaking any rules on purpose, and never broken any actual rules that were in place at any given time. And it's offensive to me that here I am still struggling to get to my first payout, and then he wants to, he wants to punish me because other people are taking advantage of their company. Like, come on. It says, I got confused after question 18. Then I was just guessing. Yeah, well, because they give the options multiple ways. So it's like at one point they're talking about if there's a payout window, should we hold up everyone's payout until everyone's approved at the same time or denied at the same time? But then they switch and say, well, what if there's no payout window? So it is a little confusing, but it's not surprising because everything that Apex writes, it's probably written basically by this guy, John, and it's always confusing. They need probably someone else to handle the videos and the write-up. But he's the one that knows the rules the best. So it's probably hard to find someone that can like write this stuff in the way he means it. But then the way he writes it, it's so slanted in his, he's got this like victim mentality. Like he's the victim, it's very bizarre. Almost says felt like a quiz. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I was just annoyed by it, filling it out. Again, it's like overcomplicated, gray areas all over the place, and it's like it was condescending in its tone and nature of verbiage, and then but at the same time, I'm happy that they put a poll out. I'm happy that they're like putting it to the user base, to the subscribers, and saying, hey, what of these things interests you, and what are you willing to give up, and what are you willing, what if we make some things better, what are you willing to give up to get those things? And I like that they're putting that out there for us to kind of comment on. And then I just hope that since they put it out for just anyone to fill out, that's not like their competitors just trying to like mess up Apex and, filling it out, all the worst things possible for the traders, just because they're in competition with Apex, So I don't know why they didn't put it behind the paywall of like needing to have at least a subscription and a user to be able to sign into the account and then fill out the form. That he made us agree to protect and defend Apex with my life. Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? I mean, I have a YouTube. I like Apex. They're the only ones that I even show on my screen. The only ones I trade with. They're the only ones I supposedly, I guess, promote as an affiliate. But it's a little drastic to say that I'm going to have to sit here and protect them with my life, right? Look, I'll give it to them. I still think they're the best, in my opinion. I still think the rules is not a big deal, in my opinion. I'm fine with the rules that they put in place. There's not a single rule that affects me in a negative way. And for me, I'd say punish those that are abusing your rules. And if you have to kick them off your platform, kick them off your platform. But for the rest of us, don't treat us like we're breaking the rules too, and don't start denying us payouts because of some wild conspiracy theory that we're breaking your rules when there's not like an actual instance of us breaking the rules. So they have to be really consistent with their rules, which is why I like, get rid of the 30% consistency rule and just make it a 40% consistency rule. Because their 30% consistency rule, they say, well, it's a gray area. It could be a little bit over and we'll still approve it. No, make it black and white. If it's 40.01%, then it should be denied. So make it a 40% consistency rule. If it's 40.0000001%, it's denied, right? If it's 40.00000000000 for infinity, it's approved. If it's anything less than that, it's approved. Like, let's just make it really easy and simple. And have to have a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 risk reward, like overall in terms of your wins and losses, fine. That's fine, because the people that aren't doing that are not going to get payouts anyway. They're going to blow up their accounts. So that doesn't matter. What else? Amma says, Amma says, I'm just starting out, so I have very few options. I have to agree and comply if I want to get anywhere and make this a career. Right. It's their platform. It's their company, and they make the rules and we play by them. So I'm completely, absolutely okay with that. I'm completely willing to play by their rules. I just want to be treated like I'm not trying to like break the rules, because I'm not. So treat me like I'm playing by the rules, because I am. Don't treat me like these other people. I don't have 2,000 evaluations and 300 PAs. I'm just trying to make an honest attempt at being able to trade. All right, I'm really tired. I'm not going to take any trades. I'm going to wrap it up here. The 90%. Yeah, Amma says, yeah, we want to be honest. Me too. Like I have no intention of trading in any way other than just honestly trying to trade to make money. I'm not trying to break any rules. I'm just trying to figure out how to trade and be profitable. So, but they should know that most of us are like that. And there's a lot less people that are breaking the rules on purpose. So the 90% sale is supposed to end tonight at midnight, but maybe, considering there were more rhythmic problems, maybe they extended again. I don't know. It's just getting ridiculous with the rhythmic issues. And there hasn't been one single day since I've gotten this new PA11 where there hasn't been a rhythmic issue, where I haven't felt like it's safe to trade it. So that's really annoying. But hopefully they get it resolved soon, because it's literally just been multiple days in a row. Even before they were willing to admit it last week, it was happening to people. And now it's happening again. So they had a whole weekend to figure it out, and it's still a problem. So they need to get on that. Hopefully they will. But for me, I'm not going to try to push it. I'm tired. I didn't sleep last night. I didn't see many good setups today, and I'm more than happy to walk away with no trades today than to push my luck and make a mistake and get a loss, or trade and have a rhythmic issue and have it mess up my accounts. And then they tell me, oh, that was outside the window of when there were issues, so we're not going to fix your problem. So I'd rather just play it safe and be flat, and I'll come back tomorrow, hopefully much more well rested. But we'll see what happens with GameStop here, because GameStop, well, now it's down to 31 again. It was at 32 for a little bit there. So we'll see what happens with GameStop, because that's, right now I'm already like, for as much as I'm into Apex, like GameStop's already got me that money back plus more. So so that's where, as far as making money goes, like that's where my attention is right now, is GameStop, because GameStop is going up and it won't quit, and GameStop won't stop. So for anyone out there that hasn't been following it, just take a look around. And I'm not giving any advice, just entertainment purposes only. It's like, it's potentially like it seems like a kind of once in a lifetime sort of situation from what I've been reading and looking at and finding in my due diligence. So I definitely am interested to see if this thing can keep running, and we'll see what happens with that. But otherwise, I feel like I should just start a GameStop channel. It'll be more interesting than what I've had going on here today with the futures. But futures is still like my focus. It's just this one situation, right? It's very interesting. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be back on at my regular time. So I'll try my best to start my stream at 6:25 tomorrow, 9:25 Eastern. Just all depends on GameStop. If it keeps me up all night again. I saw it open at 47 at 1 in the morning. I was just like, couldn't get my eyes off of it. It's just incredible. So, all right, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Definitely, if you need more accounts, be safe and get the 90% now on Apex. If you don't need more accounts, and it doesn't matter if they renew the 90% off or extend it beyond today, then just do your thing. And definitely with all the changes and stuff going on with Apex right now, I don't recommend buying more accounts than you need, and just go slow with it right now until Apex figures out what exactly they're doing, because you don't want to, here I am with all these accounts and I don't even know what their rules are going to be in the near term future, if they're going to start changing things again, and whether I'll like it or not. So it's definitely an investment that you're making when you buy multiple accounts. There was even a question about whether they should still have 20 accounts. Like, to me, like, that's the thing I love about Apex, is the possibility of working up to 20 accounts, right? So if they take that away, they're taking away another incentive of why I like trading with Apex, because while I don't have 20 PA accounts now, like, that's something I would like to work towards. And if I can only work towards less, then maybe their other competitors become more alluring to me, because it's just going to be the same as Apex, essentially. So hopefully they don't take away the 20 accounts. I certainly, in my poll, said I would not like that, but to me, that's part of their edge, part of what makes me like them. They also asked a question about whether they should take away these deep promotions of 80%, 90%. I hope they don't do that, because that's what allows me to work on my strategy and work it out on the Apex accounts. And if I can't do that for cheap, then I'm just going to start doing it on Sim and have less accounts. And I don't see how that favors them either. So, just hoping that they make the right calls and do the things. I think their intention, what they seem like they want to do, is, if you're asking me my opinion, it seems like they want to control the people that are taking advantage of their system, breaking the rules on purpose, abusing the 20 accounts, abusing the evaluations and the PA accounts, having 300 evaluations ready to go in case they lose their PAs, and they're trading 20 PAs at a time. And they're just being really aggressive with it, right? And they're just taking advantage. And so it seems like they're trying to figure out a way to limit those people, but then still make things good and better for the rest of us. But they can't treat us like those people that are trying to break the system. So if you ask me, it seems like what they want to do is potentially make the 30% rule a 40% consistency rule. I'm down for that. Let's make it a 40% black and white rule. They're saying, what if we make it 8 mandatory trading days instead of 10 to be able to qualify for a payout? I am down with that. Let's do that, right? They're saying, let's get away from doing payout windows. I would love that, because the payout windows have really messed me up in the past. Like, those payout windows, when I get to like being 1 trade away or 2 trades away from the profit target, and that payout window is right there, and you're trying to do it for that payout window, that messes me up. I can't tell you how many times I lost accounts because I went from 1 trade away to blowing the account, all because I was trying to get it in that payout window. So let's get rid of the payout windows and make it so that when you have 8 days traded, you've qualified for your payout, you've you reach the target, and you've abided by all the rules. Let's get that payout request in, and let's get it approved and get that payout out to those people. I'm down for that. If it means having to have a small safety net, I'm down for that. But don't make it a $2,600 safety net on the 50K accounts. Like, make it a $1,500, $1,600. So what I'm saying is make it $51,600, right? That you have to keep in your account at all times until you can take out the maximum amount after 4 months or whatever it is. And then that way, when you get to 52,600, same as right now, instead of being able to take out 2,000 at that point, you could take out 1,000. So leave it up to me to be able to take out 1,000, and that still leaves me with 1,600 in cushion, right? That leaves me 1,600 safety net, and then that's something I can work with. That means I won't probably blow up that account right away again. Whereas if I take out the 2,000 from 52,600, I've only got 500 left. That means I'm going to most likely blow up the count. So it doesn't have to be the 2,500 safety net. It could be 1,500 with the 100 extra, you know, and that will help the traders. It will help them. And I'm down for that. And so those are the rules that I'm looking forward to. And then as far as I'm concerned, everything else can stay the same. They don't need to mess with anything else. That would be my hope. So, all right, I think I've said it all. I'm done for today. Yeah, just one of those days. I just don't see anything I like, and I still got my one eye on GameStop and one eye on the futures. So there's no point maybe continuing. I need to rest. I need to get some sleep tonight, and then hopefully I come back tomorrow. No rhythmic issues. Apex, figure out your rhythmic issues, make those changes to your servers, do what you got to do so that we can trade without worrying about it. Because I have not been able to trade with a PA account yet since you've had problems last week. I got this PA number 11 right down here, and I have not been able to trade it one single day without hearing about Apex rhythmic issues. And I'm not going to trade it on a day where I know people are blowing up their accounts because of all sorts of weird glitches. So, all right. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. No review today. No trade, no review. And I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And hope you enjoyed my little thoughts about Apex changes. All right. I think I've said it all. Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow.